Hello there, people of the internet. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. I do have a new microphone, and hopefully this will assist with the wind noise. This one actually has one of those wind-resistant covers. I almost said windproof, but I doubt it's windproof. Wind-resistant covers on it. Hopefully the quality on it is alright. This is like the first time I'm using it, testing it. I don't even know if the audio is going to pick up right now. I don't know how quiet it's going to be. If it's too quiet, I'll fix it, in editing. Hopefully the wind noise isn't bad, and hopefully I didn't just, waste a bunch of money. I know that the microphone on the GoPro itself was already, starting to buzz from wind noise, so it was definitely shot. So either way, I did need a new one. So I have a new one now. Alright, today, I have a little handgun that I figure I'll go ahead and make a video on. I already kind of made a video on it a long time ago, but I didn't really get into it. A while back, I got myself some Gunsmith Special handguns. They're not the best quality handguns, but I picked them up for really, really, really cheap, so I'm not complaining about it. And some of them I sold off, some of them I fixed and I sold, so I'm not all that, invested into those, and I'm also not all that invested in this one. Alright, I recently made a... yes, Kevin's probably going to be doing some screaming today, so if you hear my peacock screaming, I apologize. Also, if the wind noise is too bad on this, I apologize for that as well. Now, I made a video on a Lorcin 9mm not too terribly long ago. I recently picked that one up, but this one I've had for a long time. I never really got around to messing with this thing because Lorcins are piles of shit. Now, full disclaimer, this one right here did not have screws in the grip, so I had to makeshift screw to hold the grip on because the grip is necessary to retain the internals of the pistol. So this right here is not, a part of Lorcin. This right here is just my makeshift job. I had to throw in some sort of filler, otherwise the screw that I had would have gone into the magazine well and stopped the magazine from inserting into the gun. So yeah, that's a thing. Of all the days that I could choose to record this, I had to pick today. We have some weather coming in right now, and the wind is starting to pick up. Probably going to start raining as well. So this Lorcin 25 ACP, I have shot it before. It did have light primer strikes, so I disassembled it and I actually stretched out the firing pin spring, and it did make things better, but the gun definitely still has problems. And one of those problems that's actually a big problem is the sear doesn't always catch. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate that. The sear doesn't always catch, so the firing pin is just constantly, being thrown down. I haven't had any double fires as a result, but it's still annoying because I can't recock the gun. And that's a dangerous place to be because the firing pin is sitting on the primer of an unfired cartridge, and you're trying to get your gun working. The extractor on this thing doesn't work very well, so I might have a stuck case or two. We'll go down that road whenever we get to it. Alright, now, I know I got this gun for really, really cheap, and whenever I say really, really cheap, I mean really, really cheap. It did have some problems. It still has some problems. Those problems are a lot better since I've been tinkering around with it. I picked this gun up for $8, so even if it's just a parts gun, I'd still be satisfied with it, but I do have it running well enough to actually make a video on it. I do have a magazine for it. It originally did not have a magazine, but I had a magazine already for it, so it worked out. Eventually, I'm going to get a proper screw to fit in right here. It's not really that big of a deal right now, especially on a handgun as cheap as this. These things are made of zinc material, I believe. That is the type of metal that they use. Very, very soft stuff. It's just cast molded. Very simple little handgun. Very inexpensive, but you get what you pay for. Alright, now, I have no idea how many rounds I actually have in this magazine. We're looking at 6 rounds, I think. I seem to recall this gun having problems on full magazine, so I didn't fully load the mag. Let's go ahead. Well, we cocked our gun, so she's ready to fire. Ready to fire. I don't know why, but occasionally I'll get a light primer strike, despite the fact that the firing pin only has 2 catches on it. I don't understand that. It should be getting the same amount of spring pressure every shot, and sometimes it just doesn't. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Bright side though, because the sights are molded directly into the slide of this gun, it is pretty accurate. It's possible that that one right there maybe just had an unusually hard primer. Yeah, that one fired all right. Let's take a look at that primer. That strike was plenty hard. This one was not. I don't really understand why. One thing I am going to point out for anyone who decides to, get one of these, if you're a big guy, like I'm a big guy, you will get some slide serrations on your hand there. Some slide bite. Now the ammunition I am running is the cheaper stuff, so it's possible that there is some inconsistencies with the primers. We're gonna go ahead, load this one back in, just try her one more time. Nothing. Bunch of nothing. It's also possible that this one here is just a dud. In all honesty, I've gotten far more expensive handguns that have worked way less than this little thing's working right now. So I guess this is a win. I mean, this gun cost me less than 10 bucks. Yeah, we're burning through the ammunition no problem now. I am, however, cutting the absolute hell out of my hand. I'm trying to hold as low as possible, but there's only so much I can do with this little handgun. But it's running now. Before it wasn't running at all, but now it is. So that's a major plus. And the magazine is not that stiff in this gun anymore. Originally, whenever I got this, this magazine was hard to get in and out, but just working it made it much better. Alright, now, I'm sure somebody's going to try and say, hey, that gun's stolen or it's hot or something, that's why you got it so cheap. No, it's not. This was a gunsmith special that I bought from my local FFL dealer, so completely legal buy. Granted, I did have to put a little bit of work into this thing, but with how simple these guns are, it wasn't hard. Alright, this is my last 4 rounds that I have out here with me, so I'm going to blast these down there, we're going to see how well it runs. Never mind, Kevin's standing right there. Kevin, you're in the firing line. Give me a second, I gotta go get Kevin out of the firing line. Tell you, man, he's a pretty bird, though. Alright, I convinced Kevin. Kevin, what are you doing, man? Get out of the firing line. Good boy. I convinced Kevin to get out of the firing line. Alright, now like I said, this is my last 4 rounds. We are chambered. The safety on this thing's a little weird. It doesn't always come off as safe whenever you take it off safe. I mean, I guess it's a preferred thing. Like, I'd rather it sometimes not come off safe than sometimes not come off fire. But so far I haven't had any issues with that. Hold this gun nice and low. Better to extract on that last round. Ugh. Yeah, the extractors on this thing, like I said, is not great. But hey, other than that one, which I'm going to call a dud, this thing ran through all of them pretty damn good. Alright, well, Lorcin 25 ACP, is it great? No, it fucking sucks. It ate my hand like a freaking zombie, man. Ow, that hurts. I barely stuck any ammo through this, and I've injured myself more than I would have injured anyone being hit by this round. Not actually, that's just, hyperbole, but let me tell a joke, goddammit. I will, however, say, despite the chewing on my hand, which some guns just do that, the chewing on the hand, despite that, it was worth the $8. And, 25 ACP, It's not a horrible round, not something that I'd want to, use to defend my life, but hey, I mean, it's a fun little trainer. The 22 long rifle is kind of definitely inexpensive, but it's also unreliable. And if you're running it through a handgun, unless you're running it through something that's more than $10, it's probably not going to work very well. So 25 ACP worked pretty good in this $10 handgun. Now the gun is heavy for its size. It's got really snappy recoil because it's just a straight blowback. The only thing stopping the gun from exploding is how heavy the slide is. And that heavy slide, as it zips backwards, makes for some pretty gnarly recoil and some pretty gnarly slide bite. I hear a rooster over there going absolutely freaking batshit crazy. And he's not doing anything. He's just like standing right there. I'm watching him. He's standing and running in circles. I'd say I'm glad I'm not a rooster, but let's be honest, there's people out there that are just as fucking stupid as those things, especially people that are under various influences. But that's not what this video is about. Is it a great gun? Hell no. Is it worth the money I spent? Hell yes. It fires. It goes bang. I did have to do a little bit of work on it. I had to stretch a spring. I had to put a makeshift screw into the grip. I had to clean the firing pin chamber. That was a whole mess. Like, I have no idea what they did to this gun before I got my hands on it, but I completely understand why it wasn't functioning. But it's a very simple gun, so it's very, very easy to figure out, very easy to get running again, and I did that, so worth the money. Now, like I said, these guns are made out of really cheap pot metal. They're just like molded pretty much, so I won't exactly recommend putting 1,000 rounds through one of these. Eventually there is going to be a wear out point and a breaking point and an exploding in your hand point. So I recommend, if you get yourself one of these, I mean, you can shoot it, but save up for something that won't detonate in your hand. Probably a good idea. Okay. Alright, well, this has been a pretty good day so far. Hopefully my microphone here is actually recording and I'm not just, lipping over my audio, which I have had to do before. Not an easy task, but I have had to do it before. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and share this video. I'd like to grow my channel as much as I can. YouTube does not want that to happen. Liking, subscribing, and sharing is the only way that this channel is going to grow in any way, shape, form, or size, so please help me out and go ahead and do that. Speaking of YouTube being tyrannical and anti-gun, I do have a second channel linked down below in the description. There's not much going on in this channel. It's just a drunk gameplay channel. I don't really upload there very often. It's just a camouflage if something happens to this channel. If this channel decides to disappear, go up in smoke, no longer exist, it's gonna probably take me some time to fight back, and I will fight back. Don't get me wrong, I will do what it takes to fight back, as we all need to do whenever people try to put us under their thumb. But that process would take some time, so I do have that secondary channel, which is my fallback channel. If this one goes up in smoke, I'll move over to that one. If you want to stay in the loop, that's where you should go. I know this is really off topic, but I have chocolate milk in my shoes. And it's really annoying right now. One thing I will say about this little gun, although it does suck to shoot, as the Lorcin 9mm also sucks to shoot, not very reliable. Well, I guess it is reliable if you make it reliable. Like, I did a lot of fine-tuning on this thing, and it ran decently, except for that one shot, that one bullet. Don't really know why we continue to get light primer strikes on that one. I'm going to go with that one's just a heavier primer. Maybe inconsistent primers are done with this ammunition. It's just, cheap aluminum case stuff. But the gun sucks, my hand hurts. Lorcin as an entire company, like all the guns I fired from Lorcin or Jennings or all those Ring of Fire little handguns, they all suck. But I'd say that they're a good price, but people are charging like stupid amounts of money for them. Like, get yourself a Zastava M88A or Romanian TT Tokarev or a Star Model BM, something that's a really good quality at pretty much the same freaking price. Unless you're picking up one of these Ring of Fire guns for like really cheap, I'd say under 80 bucks or so, I wouldn't go for it. If you start rolling into, like, people are asking $150, $200 for these little handguns. I know I had one guy down in Central Florida. He tried selling a buddy of mine one of these, exactly one of these, and he tried charging him 500 bucks. And my buddy asked me, he's like, hey man, something tells me this gun here isn't worth 500 bucks, but I'll still ask someone who actually knows something about it. And I said, not just no, but hell no. And we tried showing the guy various different, you know what, I'm just rambling on at this point. We tried showing the guy various different gun broker articles about how these guns normally sell for around 100 to 150, and even that's a high price. And this guy was like insisting that he not get any less than 500, so we just walked away from that. Now, why would you want one of these guns? I'm gonna say collector value. Although they're not valuable, just like sentimental collector value. I enjoy cheap crap like this. I don't know why, but like if a gun is really cheaply made and really poor quality, I really like it. Like for example, really worn out, carved up, rusting, rotting military surplus rifles. I love those. I know Classic Firearms had a deal where they were selling Mosins that were like basically just rust piles, selling them for 100 bucks. Got my hands on one of those and I got it hanging in my wall because who the hell knows what that thing's seen and been through. This right here would also make a really good gift gun. I had something just fly on my hand there. That was fucking scary. If you're trying to get somebody a gun just to get them a gun, this right here is a good, cheap, readily available option. One of these would make a really good first gun for somebody, just because of how cheap and readily available they are. Unless you want to get them something significant, then, you know, that's your own preference. You can go ahead and do what you want. If you want to get them a M&P or some crap like that, go for it. But if you find one of these for 50 bucks, pick it up, give it to them, no harm, no foul. Or if you need yourself a disposable gun for something, you know, just something to take care of something, take care of a job, whatever it is that you're doing. Not saying I condone that kind of stuff. I think afterwards you just kind of melt this thing down or throw it away. Beauty about zinc is it melts very, very easily. This area would make a decent car gun for just a gun that you keep in your car, and if somebody breaks into it and steals the gun, no harm, no foul. If you got it at, you know, a decent price, if you paid 200 bucks for one of these, you're a freaking moron. I think that's like every excuse I could give for why somebody would want to pick these up. Like I got this one because of the price. It was like stupidly cheap, and I was not gonna pass that up because I could definitely make a profit on this if I ever felt like selling it. But I'm not going to sell it because a lot of times whenever I'm off doing something and I got somebody with me, you know, this right here makes an excellent trade-off gun. You're like, hey man, we're out here doing this, it's good to, you know, have some sort of defense. Here's a little handgun. That's typically what I use my 25 ACPs for, but I do a lot of camping and a lot of outdoor stuff. You never know if you're going to come across coyotes, or here in Florida, panthers, bobcats, homeless people, things like that. Meth addicts, they're all over the place here. Although 25 ACP won't do much against a meth addict. You might need like a 44 Magnum to stick one of those down. Hell, you could see a meth addict take on a grizzly and that grizzly wouldn't stand a chance. Alright, like I said, I'm rambling on. Kevin's gonna scream some more. I have another video that I actually want to make before it gets too late in the day. This was fun. This was a good time. I'm gonna go ahead and let my hand recover though. I hope that the audio on this turns out alright. I'm probably gonna check the audio on this microphone before I continue to use it. Oh, would you look at that? The weather's moving away. It's probably why it's so windy right now. I'm going to see how the audio is with this microphone before I continue to use it, before I make this next video. So I'm going to go off, do that. You guys go off, have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. I highly doubt anybody watched all the way to the end right here, but if you did, hey man, thanks for sticking in there. Thanks for supporting my channel. Thanks for being a viewer. You know, it's viewers like, I mean, I don't have very many of them right now. Hopefully I'll get up there one day, but it's viewers like you guys that are helping this channel grow at a pace I never thought I would see. I had a YouTube channel before, and the highest I ever got on it was 13 subscribers, and now I'm at, what, 440 something? Holy crap. It's mind-boggling to see so many amazing people get behind what I'm doing, and all I'm doing is having fun at my gun range, and it's very heartwarming to see that people are having fun with me. Alright, enough of the mushy bullcrap. I'm gonna go grab a shotgun and make another video. I have a lot of shotgun shells, and man, they're burning a hole in my pocket. Just an expression, guys. They're burning a hole in my pocket. I want to fire them, so I'm going to make a video using my Remington 870. So I'm gonna go do that after I figure out how good the audio on this is. You guys go off, have a fantastic day. Once again, thanks for watching. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. The poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.